My phone buzzed at 2 a.m., and I thought, who dies at this hour? Instead, it was a video that killed my marriage. I'm Claire, 34, a project manager who thought she had it all: a corner office, a loving husband, and a life plan scribbled on a vision board in our cozy Chicago apartment. Mark, my husband of 7 years, was my rock, or so I believed. He was charming, with a dimpled smile that could disarm anyone, and a knack for making even the worst days feel survivable. We met in college, bonded over late-night tacos and dreams of a future where we'd travel the world, maybe start a family. But that night, my world didn't just crack, it shattered. The video came from Jenna, a co-worker I barely knew beyond polite hallway nods. The subject line read, "You deserve to know." My thumb hesitated over the play button, heart pounding like I'd just sprinted a mile. The footage was grainy, time-stamped from a hotel bar in Denver where Mark was on a work trip. There he was, my Mark, leaning into a woman I recognized, Lila, his co-worker, all sharp cheekbones and smug confidence. Their lips locked, hands wandering, oblivious to the world. The video cut off after 12 seconds, but it was enough to burn the image into my soul. I sat on the edge of our bed, the silence of our apartment screaming louder than my thoughts. My first instinct was to call him, to scream, to demand answers, but something colder took over. I opened my phone, blocked his number, his socials, everything. By 3 a.m., I'd emailed a divorce lawyer. No explanation, no second chances. I wasn't going to be the fool who begged for lies. The next morning, I walked into the office like a ghost. Jenna caught my eye across the open plan floor, her expression a mix of pity and guilt. "Claire, I'm so sorry," she whispered, pulling me into a meeting room. "I was at the conference, saw them, and I couldn't not tell you." Her hands trembled as she spoke, her brown eyes wide with the weight of what she'd done. I wanted to hate her for shattering my illusion, but she'd handed me the truth when I'd been blind. "Thank you." I managed, my voice hollow. I didn't know if I meant it. Work became my battleground. Lila was in marketing, her desk just 2 rows from mine. Every laugh from her cubicle felt like a dagger. She didn't know I knew yet. I watched her, all polished professionalism, chatting with colleagues like she hadn't kissed my husband in a crowded bar. My hands itched to confront her, to make a scene, but I held back. I wasn't going to let her see me break. Days bled into weeks. Mark tried reaching out through mutual friends, his messages dripping with excuses. It was a mistake. I was drunk. It meant nothing. I didn't respond. I couldn't. Every word felt like a fresh betrayal. I threw myself into work, volunteering for every project, staying late to avoid our empty apartment. My boss, Greg, noticed the change. "You're killing it, Claire," he said one evening, his tone warm but cautious. "But you look like you're carrying the world." I forced a smile, dodging the truth. Admitting it out loud felt like admitting I'd failed. The divorce papers arrived a month later. Signing them was like cutting out a piece of my heart. I didn't want to see Mark, but we had to divide our life, our apartment, our savings, our memories. We met at a neutral coffee shop, the kind of place we used to love. He looked smaller, his dimples gone, eyes red-rimmed. "Claire, I messed up," he started, voice cracking. "Lila was a mistake. I love you." I stared at the man I'd built a life with, searching for the person I thought I knew. "You didn't just cheat," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "You chose to lie, to hide, to let me believe in us." He had no answer. I walked away, leaving him with the papers and the ghost of our marriage. Back at work, the tension with Lila grew unbearable. I overheard her bragging about the Denver trip, laughing about late nights with colleagues. My blood boiled. One day, during a team meeting, she presented a campaign idea, all charm and confidence. I couldn't hold back. "Interesting choice of theme." "Lila," I said, my voice sharp, "betrayal seems to be your specialty." The room went silent, her face flushed. but she recovered quickly, muttering something about miscommunication. Greg shot me a look, half concern, half warning. I didn't care. The truth was out, even if it was just a jab. Jenna became my unexpected ally. Over coffee, she shared her own story, a fiancé who'd left her for a friend years ago. "You don't owe him forgiveness," she said, her voice firm, "but you owe yourself peace." Her words stuck with me, a lifeline in the chaos. I started therapy, something I'd always dismissed as not for me. It was messy, peeling back layers of anger and grief, but it helped me see I wasn't just mourning Mark. I was mourning the version of myself who trusted blindly. 6 months later, the divorce was finalized. I moved into a new apartment, small but mine, with a view of the Chicago skyline that felt like a fresh start. Work was different too. I'd earned a promotion, not because of pity, but because I'd poured my pain into my projects. Lila transferred to another branch. Rumors said she couldn't handle the whispers. I didn't care enough to confirm. One night, alone with a glass of wine, I replayed the video Jenna sent. It still stung, but the pain was duller, like an old bruise. I deleted it, not because I was over it, but because I was done letting it define me. I wasn't the woman who'd been betrayed anymore. I was Claire, stronger, wiser, and ready to rebuild. Life didn't magically fix itself. Some days, I missed Mark, or at least the idea of him, but I learned to lean on friends, on Jenna, on myself. I started painting again, a hobby I'd abandoned after college. My canvases were chaotic, full of reds and blacks, but they were honest. They were me. The world kept turning, and so did I. I didn't need Mark's apologies or Lila's shame to move forward. I needed to choose myself, and I did, every single day. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Is forgiveness owed to someone who breaks your trust, or is walking away the ultimate act of justice? Share your thoughts. Let's talk about where the line is drawn.